there was a TikTok shared in the Discord that caught my attention that I wanted to talk about briefly. Because again, I don't want to be on here that late. And so I'm going to play the TikTok and then come back and talk about it.
You could be a black guy that's 6 foot, over 6 foot, make over $100,000, drive a nice car, live in a nice home, got all the things, checks, check all the boxes, but let your ass like anime. Oh, suddenly you still a lame. Tell me I'm lying. You could drive 6 foot. You could be over 6 foot, drive a nice car, have a house, all the good things that you're going for. Let you be a gamer. Let you be a gamer. You are a sucker in a black woman's eyes. But meanwhile, they would date a white man to that same equivalent and have no problem with it. Tell me I'm lying.
You're lying. You're lying. Okay. So when I initially saw this, it makes me frustrated and a little annoyed that that a lot of us as men are holding on to a lot of tropes and maybe bad experiences that we had or they had in high school and haven't gotten over it. Whether it's middle school, high school, elementary school, whatever. I feel like the opposite now. Like being a Blerd is like cool now. People watching anime is cool now. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like there are so many other reasons why a woman wouldn't be attracted to you that has nothing to do with anime, has nothing to do with being a gamer, has nothing to do with like playing Dungeons and Dragons or whatever you want to call it, any other Blerd or nerd related things at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to continue to hold on to this guy is holding on to this. Because I'm assuming if you're saying all these things, if he's saying all this stuff, he is trying to advocate for himself as a black nerd, right? Thinking or saying that, you know, if he likes anime or whatever, that if you're trying to talk to a black woman, she's automatically going to think you're lame. Sir, she'll probably think you're lame because of your character. She'll probably think you're lame because of the way that you carry yourself. She'll probably think you're lame because of your beliefs. I'm sure you watching anime or playing video games is actually kind of low on the list. And if it is up in the list, it's probably because she's talked to other men, whether they're white or black, it doesn't matter. She's probably talked to men who are gamers, who are anime fanatics, who are just jerks, who don't have good social skills, who aren't nice to women because they're holding on to grudges from high school, because there's a level of entitlement, because you've been fantasizing and thinking that women should be a certain way. Because he was just listing all of the stuff that like Kevin Samuels have said before, you know, 6 foot tall, you got over six figures, all of these things, all of these high value man standards. And the thing about it is, you can have these hobbies, you can have these interests, and a woman will still be attracted to you. She may even think you're lame and still give you a chance. And I will say that is a huge thing for black women. As somebody that is a Blerd and who honestly has accepted or has been working on accepting that I'm lame to some degree. I think generally most men are lame in comparison to women. Like there's not that much special about us at all. Like you're trying to make yourself unique or cool by watching anime. Okay, cool, watch anime. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Because people nerd out about a lot of stuff. Whether you nerd out about sports, you nerd out about politics, you nerd out about anime, you nerd out about video games. You can nerd out about the stars. if you're going to continue to try to fight and not let go of the fact that you probably were rejected in high school by some girls that you were talking to, you're not going to get anybody. You're not going to have any progress at all. It's not going to help you. Again, your biggest issue is probably your character. Your biggest issue is how you look at women. Your biggest issue is the fact that you can't let stuff go. Like, you can't let stuff go. And the thing is, like, I think it's okay for us to accept that, yeah, you're probably lame. Just accept it. You're lame in your own way. That's fine. Be grateful and be thankful that if the opportunity comes, you meet a nice young lady and she's giving you the time of day, stay humble and do your best to be nice to her, to be kind to her, as people, which I'm sure this guy would probably use that kind of terminology, simp for her or whatever, because ultimately she's the prize. You want to make sure she's not lame, like that she has good character, that she's kind, that she's nice, that you're interested in her. So what if she doesn't want to watch anime with you? Okay. So what if she may not want to play video games with you? Okay. Are you willing to do stuff with her? Are you willing to be interested in her hobbies? Like, I think, and I'm working through this too, because there's a lot of unlearning that we have to do as men, because patriarchy has messed us up. It has got things twisted and confused. And then of course, there's men online like this guy here that wants to make it so difficult for us to just be able to relate well to the opposite sex. And we get this grandiose perspective of ourselves that ruins relationships. It's happened to me too. Like, thinking you're hot stuff when you're not. Again, most men, if not all men, are lame in comparison to women. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, even in a biblical sense. Adam, if we're looking at Genesis and the creation story, Adam needed help. Adam was struggling. And so God created Eve because Adam was kind of lame. He was having some emotional soul deficiencies. He wasn't all the way there, and he needed a companion because he's lame. Women aren't really like that. Women can be totally fine without a man in their life because they'll have their sisters, they'll have their girlfriends, they'll have their aunties and stuff like that. They'll be fine. We're the ones struggling. We're the one really having a hard time with the loneliness epidemic and things like that. And a big part of it is because people don't really want to be around us. Other men don't want to be around other men. And that's the core of it. It has nothing, again, to do with anime. It has nothing to do with playing video games. Those are usually the few, for nerds, I would say, the few places that we can have commonality, that we want to foster community over. That's not that big of a deal. The bigger issue is, are you just a terrible person? Like, the vibe that I'm getting from this brother is that he's a misogynist, which a lot of men are. That's something that we have to work through. But he probably looks down on women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure he's put in a lot of work. He's put in a lot of work to get to where he is. Right? And what I mean by that is the way that he carries himself, physically, like trying to be, in his eyes, cool, right? And the thing about it is that's part of the patriarchy thing that messes us up. We try our hardest to be cool, not understanding that definition of cool is usually defined or established by other men. And the things that we think are cool, or that other men say are cool, women don't care about at all. It's not that important. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be lame. What matters is that people love you and appreciate you, whether you're lame or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's important. The thing is, you actually don't need to be cool to have a good life. You don't need to be cool to have good friends. You don't need to be cool to have a beautiful romance. Keep in mind, again, like I was just saying, that cool is also subjective. It's typically established by other men and a marker or scale that constantly changes depending on the harmful concepts of the matrix. So the society that we live in deems certain things cool. Because again, yes, you're right. 10, 15 years ago, anime was not cool. It wasn't. And that's not just in the Black community. That was like in a lot of American community and culture. It wasn't cool. Video games weren't necessarily cool, like, but a lot of that has changed because things change. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So what? We got to move past that stuff. What's more important is that you have good character, that you have things that you're passionate about in life, that you have a servant's heart, that you are brave, that you have a willingness to respect and honor those around you equally, which includes women, especially women. And so if you're, again, holding this grudge against some girls in your high school who turned you down because they didn't like anime or whatever, or they thought you were weird because, if you're in high school and you're nerdy, maybe you weren't the most stylish or most fashionable, or maybe you're still working on your hygiene. Hey, that's a real thing. All right. That's a real thing. You got to get it together. That's why we grow up. That's why we mature. But maybe that's why they get rejected. It had nothing to do with the fact that you like Dragon Ball Z. It had nothing to do with that you watch Yu Yu Hakusho. So what? Who cares? Right? Like, you played video games. Okay, cool. Whatever. But maybe it was something else. Maybe it was something else that made you lame or made you weird in their eyes. The thing is, you can learn how to dress well. You can have money, because he mentioned having over 6 figures. You can be in good health, in good shape, big biceps, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's beneficial. That's important. Those can be good things. Those are things you should be motivated internally to have, though. And it has nothing to do with romance. It has nothing to do with getting girls or whatever. Above being cool, what you got to make sure you actually do is love yourself well, so you can be available for others, be available to love others well. Because in this, like, again, there's some bitterness there in what this guy is saying. There's some bitterness there. You got to let that stuff go. You're gonna be holding on to that for the rest of your life. That ain't cool. That's not healthy. That's not helping your relationships. It's not doing nothing. Okay. What's going on, London Link? I'm just seeing these. All right, he says, well, I don't know if it's cool. I would say it's mainstream or a fad. True. Being a nerd has never been cool, unfortunately. Yeah. I can understand that. I do think mainstream, definitely. A fad, yes, I can see that. I think it's changed, though. Like, so much so that, like you said, people are willing to I will have to set up, maybe there's another time we can have I don't have a link. I'll have to set it up. I don't have a link. We can create, we need to create this conversation again. I'm gonna table this because it's my evening is not structured that well, but I'm gonna table this and save this so that we can talk about this again. Because the way that my stuff is set up, I don't have it set up yet, but I got you. We will circle back and talk about nerd culture and, its relevance, and of course how it relates to us as men. We're gonna come back to that. But the bottom line, though, before I get off, is like, what's more important is that you're just a good person. Like I think that plays a big part in it, and yeah, like that plays a huge part in how other people see you. You know, like. But again, I'm going to table that. I'm going to save this for a conversation that London Link. We'll have to set that up. I'll have to get my StreamYard situation together, and we will talk about this at another time. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, what I really wanted to point out is that you can have these things that are quote unquote considered lame, and there can still be somebody that loves you or adores you or wants to be in relationship with you, and they will see past it. I know plenty of Blerds, plenty of black men who are married, who are in relationships with women that enjoy them, and that the men enjoy those women, and they just let them nerd out, let them geek, let them be themselves, and it works out. So the possibilities are there. But if you, again, you got to be open to it. But yeah, I mean, that's really what I wanted to touch on tonight. But yes, I will. That's good. Thank you, London Link, for commenting and showing up. We'll set this up so we can have another conversation the next time I go live, and hopefully it'll be at a better time. I'll chat with you offline, and we'll figure that out. But thanks again for showing up. Appreciate it. I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful evening, and I will catch y'all again at the next time I go live. And I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna try to get better at this live stream thing and trying to be more consistent. And maybe next time I'll actually put up a little icon so people know that I'm here and I'm doing that. So I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Stay safe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.